Hi guys, I gotta tell you, this whole Lisa's Life by Design thing is actually kind of fun. My mornings are, I get up super early, and today I got up and I completed quite a bit of homework from some classes that I'm taking, nailed that, got that all done, and I've already walked both dogs, did my workout, handled picking up the house, any nonsense stuff that I need to get done before I start my day. And now I'm going to actually, I had the most amazing flower haul from our rose garden, and I'm going to show you guys how I make these little bouquets because they're really kind of cool. And I also, let me see if I can show you this. This vase that I use all the time has 5 little cylinders, and I just love it, and I make flower arrangements in that consistently. And anyway, so one of the things that I think is important when we're using live fresh flowers like this is making sure that we are removing the bottom parts that could otherwise go in the water, because you don't want that contaminating the water. I learned this stuff, by the way, when I was many years ago. I was working for Aveda, and I worked at this really beautiful salon in Boston, and it was called Linear Aveda. And my boss, his name was David, he was just awesome. His partner at the time, his name was Bill, and Bill owned the most beautiful florist business right in the city, and he had these accounts where he would have to go to big beautiful homes, and some of them were like on Newbury Street in Boston, and these enormous like multi-million-dollar mansions, really like true lifestyles of the rich and famous. And he would go into their homes and he would replace their flower arrangements every single week. And some of these homes, and the way I knew this is because Bill sadly had HIV, and as he became more sick, I helped to take care of him. And I ended up going with him to many of his accounts and deliveries to help as his sickness got worse. But what it gave me was this amazing opportunity to learn from one of the very best florists, I think, in the world, because he did such a great job. But he's the one that taught me how to do this. So every time I make a flower arrangement, I always think of Bill, especially because he taught me how to take all these leaves off from the bottom. So here's what I'm doing so far. So I've just placed 4 in here. I have multiple colors, and what I try to do, and I love these little vases. I got these for like $3 or something at Safeway, and I'm able to repurpose them for every holiday. So if I'm making centerpieces for Thanksgiving, then I'll have all Thanksgiving colors, and sometimes I'll put like a little raffia or jute ribbon or whatnot around the base. Or if it's Christmas, I'll do something similar and have roses with baby's breath and, you know, maybe a Christmas ribbon, who knows. But these are just for spring flowers. And here's this one so far, right? And I always, I just use a set of kitchen shears that I specifically use for the plants, and I just wash it and then I spray it with a little rubbing alcohol to make sure that they are going to stay fresh. The other thing is, whenever I go to our rose garden and I pick any of these roses, I say an intentional prayer. And before I pick each rose, and I say, Lord, whomever I think of the moment that I pick this rose, I am going to say a prayer for today. And when I first started doing this a few years ago, I would do it, and then I would take a picture of the rose that I picked, and I would text it to the person. And at first it felt fun and cool, and people say, oh my gosh, thank you so much and whatnot. But then I thought, I don't know, it seemed kind of weird. So I stopped texting, but I still do it. And if you ever suddenly think of me, it could be because I've just picked a beautiful yellow rose like this, and you came to my mind first, so I said a prayer for you. Okay, so we've added a few more, so I just make sure it's with this kind of bouquet that we're using all the different colors. Now, for the top here, I want one a little bit taller. So I'm just going to cut this one like that. All right, let's see. Put that one. Some of these have really, really sharp thorns. I mean, my goodness, and some of them hardly have thorns at all. I don't understand if it's a type of rose or whatnot, because we obviously have so many different types of roses. Okay, that one looks a little bit better. Now let's add a little bit of height to this one here as well. Look at that guy, that's amazing. They're so different, you know? Okay. My husband is the master behind all of these roses. He knows how to do this and fertilize them, and it's kind of like, you know, we all have things that are like our therapy. I think gardening for him and, you know, seeing these roses come to life in the way that they have, I think it's his version of therapy, and I could not be happier that he has chosen something as wonderful as this. Sometimes I think the hobbies that we choose are blessings beyond measure when we think about the way our hobbies help us, you know, to calm our minds or give us something to do that feels like we're nurturing that which is on our happy list. Talked about this the other day in one of my videos about making sure that we're nurturing what I like to call our dream goals. And our dream goals are the things that, you know, we just wake up every day saying, oh, I wish I had time to do more of that. And it's making sure that we create the time to do more of the things that make us happy. All right, so these little guys, I have to think about. I think these need a little vase of their own. I'm gonna find a cute little vase just for these two little tiny ones that are so adorable. Let me show you how cute they are. Let's trim these up. Look at that, two little ones. I'm gonna find, oh, I have one right here. Let's see, this is really just a jar, but yeah, that's perfect. I like it. Yay. Okay, so this one is fine, and I might even add, let's see, this guy to it just for a little extra oomph. Okay, that's perfect. Put that someplace. Okay, so now these guys are basically done, and it smells beautiful. And what I found is when you do this correctly, like, they last. Like that display right there has been like 3 or 4 days. These will probably last at least 3 or 4 or 5 days maybe. And then I wanted to show you something else. I always keep a little bucket so I'm not traipsing all of these plant cuttings all over the place. So I just put everything in a little bucket and just throw it away. Okay, but you can also make something like this. This is just a monstera leaf from our garden, and I have it in I think this was like a bottle had a cork in it, and you could put oil or something in it, but I thought it was really pretty, and this is gonna go in my bathroom. And I just love how the monstera leaf looks, and once I put a monstera leaf in one of these containers, it will stay healthy and beautiful and fresh like this for weeks on end, literally. It's amazing. And this, of course, is an anthurium leaf, which is beautiful and amazing, and it's nice and clean. And I'm going to put this in a vase as well. I just haven't found the right vase. Anyway, I hope you appreciate how amazing these beautiful flowers are and are inspired to go ahead and create your own versions of this. And sometimes it's easy just to find fun things that you have around the yard or your neighborhood and collect them all and turn them into something beautiful. Okay, hope you have a great day.